Hi, everybody. My name is Val. I am here again to walk you through another winter workshop class. Today, we are going to do a learn to draw character. So it's this little reindeer. So we're going to go step by step on how to draw him first on just some computer paper, printing paper, and then we're going to draw him bigger on a bigger piece of paper and paint him. So you should have a link to print this guy out, or you can pull him up on your computer. You don't really necessarily need to have him printed out. But we're going to go through the steps. We're going to start up here, this guy, and then go across and then finish him out down there. So I have my supplies laid out. So this is the guy that I painted. So this is what we're going to do. You can paint him as big as you want or as small as you want on your paper, but I'm going to try to show you how to go from drawing it small to drawing it a little bigger and painting him in. So I'm going to move him out of the way. So I have here just some paper from my computer printer. Then I have some paint from our paint pad that we're going to be painting on. And then I have some paints, and I'm just using the two browns, the pink for his cheeks and some black for some details. So I'm going to move that out of the way because I know I will probably knock that over. So I'm going to move that out of the way. You're also going to want to have a cup with some water to clean your brushes, and then some paint brushes for later. But we're going to start with just a pencil and a piece of paper. Okay. So using our printout as a guide, I'm going to show you how to get started. Okay, everybody grab their pencil and their paper, and here we go. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw this funny shape. That's going to be his head, and that's going to what's really going to give him his personality and his definition, okay? So it's kind of like a funny balloon, almost. So go ahead and draw that shape. And then we're going to add to it the body, and it's just a kind of a big oval. All right. Now to that shape, we're going to add this is going to be his little belly. That's going to be a different color. So it's just a little oval inside the bigger oval. Give you a minute to do that. We're going to add his arms next. So, you know, my guy looks a little chubbier than this guy, and that's okay. You can make him whatever shape you want. Then we're going to add arms. On either side. And it's just a little curve line down to his body. Oh, I want to make that a little thicker. So if you've got an eraser, that's always a good thing when you're using pencil. Oh, I don't like that. A little bit wider. Okay, so now we're going to refer to this third picture where we have added a nose and some legs. So his nose just has a circle or an oval, however you want to do it. And then his legs start, you can see his legs start about there on him, right? So about there and there, a little bit upways his body. And we're just going to come down, across, and up. The same thing on the other side. Here's his legs. Okay, now we're on to this fourth picture where we are adding his ears and his tail. So up here, we're just going to add a little ear shape. And then his other ear, you can see it's on the side of his head there because he's looking sideways. So like that. And then his tail is going to be sticking out from back here. Like that. I'm going too fast. You can always stop the video and catch up and then start it again, okay? Okay, now this is our next step. He's got his body and his belly, his arms, his legs, his tail, his nose, and his ears. So now we're going to add antlers. And you can do the antlers like this, or you can make them giant, big, or you can make them small, you can make them crazy, however you want. I'm just going to draw them similar to what I'm seeing on this paper. Now, when we draw them bigger, you can thicken them up. I'll just go over them a little bit with my pencil. Okay. So now we have up to his antlers. Now we are going to add some details on his face and his ears. So really simple. We're just going to add a couple of eyes, and we're just making half circles with those. Now the one that's closer is going to be, if he's turning his head, you're going to have one eye closer to the audience than the other one. So that's a little bigger. That's going to be this one. And that one's a little bit smaller. And then a round cheek. And then a smile. Just like that. Oh, and then we added some details to his ear. So we're just going to draw, mimic the outer shape, just make it smaller inside his ears. Just like that. So you can kind of, I'm going to color them in so you can see them a little better. Just like that. Here's his cheek. And then let's see, we got one more step. Oh, we're going to add his hoofs. So we're going to add on the end of the arm, just like that. And the end here, just like that. And then on his feet, like that and like that. Since he's a moose or a reindeer, I think moose and reindeer are similar. And they have hooves. So we're just going to make it look like that. If you want to put silly shoes on him, if you want to put a scarf on him, you can add those things after you get the basic shape down. You can do all kinds of things to him. So it's kind of up to you what you want to do. You can make him have boots. That. So, but this is the basic shape and the basic instructions to get our moose drawn. So when you go step by step and you just start adding the shapes, it's not quite so overwhelming that if you just looked at that and tried to draw that from the beginning. So follow your steps. And I've got a chubby little moose. So now I'm going to do it again on bigger piece of paper. So I have my paper here that I'm going to paint on this way. And I'm going to do them bigger. So we're going to follow the same steps again. Except this time what you're going to want to sort of make sure you have enough room to get his whole body on there. Because sometimes if you make his head too big, you're going to run out of room for his body. You might have his body, but you might not have his legs. And that's okay. If you want to do that, that's fine. Just make sure that you have enough room for what you want to get on your paper. So we're going to go ahead and start with his head again with this funny, I'm calling it a balloon shape. I don't know what to call it. It's kind of like that. And then back on our first step. So now his body, big oval that just stops at his head. Step 2, we're going to add inside of his belly. which is just another oval following the same shape as the outer oval, and then his arms. So we'll go like that. That. Trying to make them about the same length. Okay. Now to number 3, nose and legs. So let's add his nose up here. And then his legs. Remember, we started a little bit up the way, so we're going to go like that. Oh, those aren't exactly. This, you know what? This one came out too far. I'm going to erase that. Feel free if you make a mistake, just to erase what you don't like. A little bit that. There we go. Let's see, that was that one. So now we're on number 4. We are going to add his ears. And his tail. All right. Now we are back on this one. Ooh, now see, I started kind of towards the top. I'm going to have to do my antlers a little different. Otherwise, they're going to go off the page. I forgot about that. So I'm going to give him some more curvy antlers. We'll thicken them up when we paint. We won't worry about thickening them up now. And then this one's going to come over like that and like that. There, I just made it to fit them on. What else do we have to add to this one? That was just the antlers. Okay. Now we're going to add some details to his face and ears. So we've got the nose, do the mouth. He's smiling, just like that. The eyes, remember the one in front is bigger than the one in the back. And then just a circle for a rosy cheek. Because he's out in the cold and his cheeks are rosy. So now we'll just mimic the shape of the ear, just smaller inside the ear. Just like that. And that's everything on that one. And then finally, we're not going to color anything in like we have here because we're going to paint it. So we're just going to add a line on each of his arms and one on each of his legs for his hoofs. Yep, that's it. Now we can paint him. So I'm going to put away my guide. I'm going to pull my paints over. You can paint him whatever color you want. I'm going to go ahead and paint him like my sample was, which is basically brown, light brown and dark brown. Get my other one. This is the one, if you recall. And see how different he really looks different from the first one I did, and that's okay. Everybody's is going to look different, and each time you do it, it'll probably look different unless you trace it. Okay, so I'm going to start with my dark brown paint. It's not my little palette. It's a little thick. It's a little thick. You can add a little water to it. So I'm just going to paint in the lines, roughly. I like painting, and this is acrylic paint, so you can wash it, your brushes off with water. You can wash it off your hands. You don't want to get it on your clothes because it doesn't like to come out very well when you get it on your clothes, especially once it's dried. It's really hard. And if you're doing it on your kitchen table or something, make sure you've covered up some space so you don't get it on the table too. Anytime you're painting, you want to cover things up. Okay. So you can have a paper plate or something if you want by your paint pots for mixing. I have palette paper, but paper plate, I usually use paper plates. I just happen to have this one nearby. Painting his legs. Maybe a little more brown. And again, if I'm going too fast, stop or pause the video and catch up. This part you guys can probably just do on your own. You can paint them however you want. I know you've all painted before. And these little reindeer arms. I've been painting all of the same color at one time, so I don't have to keep rinsing my brush out. And I'm going to turn him over because if I try to reach up across what I've already painted, I might get my arm in the paint, smear it. So now I'm going to paint his face. Probably going to change my paintbrush to a thinner paintbrush here in a minute. Put that in the water. I have a skinnier paintbrush here. A little too much paint on that. Now I can go around the details. I'm going to go over his eyes because I'm painting those black, and that will go just fine over the brown paint. But this is going to be pink, and I don't think the pink will show up very well over the brown. So I'm going to keep it white. So I'm going around it. And see, I can still see, you should be able to still see your eyes to have a guide. I'm going to go around his mouth as well. And just outline him. Okay. It is painted. Now, just do the outside part of his ears. Because the inside's going to be pink. So these are some decisions you need to make before you start painting is, what areas you want your lighter colors to be, because you'll need to leave them white, leave room for that. But if you follow the guide of my original painting, if you look at the picture, then you can just follow along with that, and then you'll know. Oh, I see. I meant to keep his mouth white, and I didn't. But I think that's going to be black. That's what I have on my other one. Oh, his tail. Oh, we forgot to draw. I forgot to draw. I want to do the inside of his tail pink, just like the inside of his ears are pink. So I forgot to draw that. So I'm going to take my skinnier brush. Let's see. So you guys can see. Let's paint. And his tail. All right. So all my dark brown is done. Now I'm going to do his belly. So I'm going to use a bigger paintbrush again. I've got a bigger paint. We'll try this one. So I'm going to use this lighter brown. It's a little thick too. Your paint is fine right out of the paint pot. That's just fine. Mine just got a little thick. Okay. going to use the edge of my brush along the edge. See how I'm doing that? That way you, since I'm using a flat brush, see how the brush is flat on the end? I can butt it right up to that edge of my dark brown and get a nice line. And see how I'm turning my paper too. This will help you not have to reach over a wet painted part and get it on your hands, your arms. Sometimes when I'm painting, I get so into it, I forget to do that, and then I have paint all over me. And if you want to make a purple reindeer, go for it. I am all about using your imagination. Okay, so that's his belly. What else is, that's the only thing that is that color. So I'm going to rinse out my brush. I think we will turn him around again. Now, let's do the pink. So I'm going to use my little paintbrush again, my skinnier one, this one. So I have a little bit more control with it. And get myself a little bit of pink. Ooh, that pink is pretty thick. I'm rolling my brush to get the extra paint off of it so I don't have too much paint on my paintbrush. Just a little tip. Okay, so we're going to paint the inside of his ears. Uh-oh, how did I do that? I smudged his ear somehow. I'll show you how I'm going to fix that. His cheek. Oops, and then the inside of his tail. All right. All right, I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix his ear. I'm going to use my, rinse off my skinny brush, go back to my brown paint. I'm just going to make his ear a little bit of a different shape. There we go. You'd never know. Don't know how I did that. Okay. Now we're on to our black. We'll do the easy parts first. His hooves. So if you made your moose little, you're only going to probably want to be using your little paintbrushes. And if you made them really big, you can use bigger paintbrushes. You just have to use the right tool for the right situation. And then, of course, if you added boots or shoes or a scarf or anything, you can go ahead and do that as well. But you probably would have drawn that onto your reindeer first, so you would know where to put that. Okay. Oh, we got one more. Oh, click here. Okay. Let's keep turning him around. I'm going to do his nose. And then his mouth. Still see it. If you can't see your mouth, go back and look at your reference guide or drawing guide. Let's see where it is. You can either draw it on there and then paint it or just paint it. Let's see what that look like. Yeah, he's smiling. Oh, now we have to do his eyes. It's just two arcs. And I'm just getting some paint just on the tip of my brush. And I'm holding it kind of like a pencil. And I'm doing it in two strokes. That's a tip on how to do a circle without having to do it all in one stroke. Now we have his antlers. So I'm going to a little bit more paint on my brush so I can do it a little thicker. Paint the lines and just paint right over them. Sometimes when I'm learning how to paint or watching how somebody paints, I like to watch them paint. I like to see how they do it and then go back and do it myself. I learn a lot that way by watching other people. There's his antlers. What else do we have? I think that's it. Now, if you really wanted to do something different, you could put polka dots on his belly, like that, with the black paint. Or another color. I'm going to put polka dots on him. That's a little off the script. So you guys, you can do whatever you want. It's your art, your creation, your creativity. Let's do something fun down here. It's going to show you. I'm going to turn his hoofs into some boots. So I'm going to come up a little bit higher. And I'm going to just sort of draw a boot, just like that, with my paintbrush. You could do it with your pencil first if you want. That's kind of fun. I like that. I'd love to see what you guys are doing. So be sure when you're done to take a picture of it and put it on our Facebook page, Michael's Facebook page, and hashtag make it with Michael's, and then we'll be able to see it. Yeah, foot's kind of small. A little bit bigger. There we go. All right. There we go. That's how you draw and paint our reindeer. I keep calling him a moose, so I'm sorry about that, but I guess he's a reindeer because it's Christmas in winter. So that's it, guys. I hope you had fun. I had fun. I love to paint. So anytime we're painting together, I have fun with that. So I hope you guys had fun and keep practicing your drawing. There's lots of books out there. Michael's has books that are step-by-step drawing books, and you can find things on the internet as well on how to draw things step by step. Remember, they're just shapes. You're putting the shapes together to create your drawing. So can't wait to see what you guys did. Thanks for joining me. See you soon. Bye.